Hello and welcome back. We are here at the 2018 Glassblown Open in Emporia, Kansas, the largest disc golf event in world history. 1,602 players, big sexy commentary here with you, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Colin.
A huge shout out to Dynamic Discs for all they do, blowing this event up, making it just historic. 1,600 people is hard to imagine. It's a really exciting event. We're always excited to come out here.
Coming into this year, I look forward to playing the country club because we didn't get to play it last year. So I feel like Didi kind of gave it to us. Let's put 3 rounds there, so we're guaranteed to see some country club this year. So I look forward to it.
Are you good being here for all 3 rounds?
Yeah, I mean they really made some great changes, so I'm looking forward to it.
Paul McBeth, excited as always. I think most touring players would tend to agree three shots at the same course is a little bit better for our game and our practice schedule. Hole 1 here, par 5, 1,135 feet. This is a new hole combining what used to be maybe hole 7 and 8, but they've kind of changed the starting area. This is a big, long par 5.
Mills, South Carolina, Ricky Wysocki.
And speaking of course changes, we're starting off on a big par 5. And it's hole 7 and 8, previous plus another 100 to 200 feet. Get to start out of the gates with a big shot.
Here we go, Ricky.
And a nice low shot, not trying to go for the big high Anheuser flex, just going to keep one in play. Really, a 3 is almost out of the question.
Yeah.
Most of these players are just going to try to put themselves in position to throw another clean shot.
2017 Glassblown Open champion, Paul McBeth.
Hear that from Forest, Virginia.
That's one of the first times hearing that, I feel like.
Yeah, and look at this gallery. It's great. Star Destroyer. This needs to flip.
Oh, this is fading out really far left. It's kind of hard to go B left, but wow, Paul has done that.
Oh, no.
Uncharacteristic. We have a huge fairway here to work with, and
From Bremen, Germany.
surprising to see Paul fade out there.
Open champion, Simon Lizotte.
Got 2 former champions of this event on the same card. I mean, we really do have a dream card today on this course. I mean, you really couldn't ask for a better lineup. I'll back it up a little bit more.
Yeah, time to get into crush mode. Big hyzer, that's all he really needs. I mean, playing for a 4, that's still going to be probably pushing 500.
Yeah, again, that's really the shot that Simon's conceding for the 4 at best, which is great play.
Fine,
Great score.
Sets up a good angle for the second shot, too. Being out there a little more left doesn't make you play the turnover. If you can go 450, 450, it's just a jump putt up to the pin.
Right. And in the background, you hear one of the unique signature aspects of this event where you get to choose your tee-off song a la baseball. And it's a really cool thing. I really like having that unique way of expressing yourself as you start off. And a lot of people like peace and quiet, but if there's music playing for everybody,
Yeah, sure.
it's really fun.
Yeah, it is. One of the few groups out there where you could say Simon had the short drive on a par 5. You're not going to see that too many times.
Yeah, and wide open, too. Really surprising to see him play that check play, but really knowing the distances that he needs to throw and going hyzer, and making the hole really easy on himself.
It's got a lot to do with his card mates as well.
And that's a beautiful line, and that's really pushing the street, but never really in any danger whatsoever.
Great shot.
Paul's secured himself a par at worst, maybe giving himself an outside look for his long jump putt for 4.
Yeah, that would be a pretty crazy 4 to save. Ricky going way wide.
Wow. And that was... I don't want... I struggle because I've heard it's disrespectful to say 2-time, but I'm going to say,
You think it was staying OB?
Oh, I think so. I mean, that was heading out pretty wide.
It could be.
It's hard to say.
With the flex here. Is it going to flex soon enough? Oh, loving it. Loving it. Not a great shot, but a great result. He'll have a pretty easy up and down for his birdie.
In hindsight, I feel like you might be right. I think he probably was high enough to come back in bounds. Either way, A little harp sidearm approach for Ricky, no problem.
Not at all.
Well, maybe 28 feet short, but not a problem.
No problem.
No problem there. And like you said, there's just 2 hyzer pitch-up shots for Simon, leaving him just a jump putt approach.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been known to cash these every once in a while, but really wasn't looking for anything crazy to start this tournament off with.
Eagle's just going to do the same, just a little pitch up and over. It looks like he's actually going with a little more hyzer than I thought. I was expecting more jump putt style, but
Yeah.
that works just great. See the wind kicking up a little bit. You know, Kansas obviously famous for its wind, though this was a pretty calm day, pretty much ideal weather for this area.
I would say by at least 10 miles an hour, the slowest wind pace we've ever played country club.
Yeah.
Every year,
Yeah.
this is the course that whoops our butts because we get 20 to 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts.
Here is Simon. Ooh,
Oh.
Simon.
Wow.
Short there, and he'll have to settle for par. It's not a good feeling par. Some holes are, this one's not.
No.
And Paul squeaks one in for his par.
And this hole came in just above par, so, you know, the out of bounds did come and play for enough people that it wasn't an easy birdie for a lot of people. I mean, it's a long hole. A lot of things can go wrong.
Ricky's in. I feel like that's a nice birdie. I feel like we're at not hole 1. You know, it's like just you're there, you're excited, and it's
Sure.
hard to just like rip a shot. If this is hole 7 or 8, the average comes down a bit because you're just feeling a little looser. You're into the round.
Sure. And shout out to Jake Hebenheimer with the only 3 in the field for day 1.
That's
Very impressive.
incredible. I wish we had that on video. Wow. Hole 2, par 4. This one has been lengthened to 709 feet. It plays uphill the whole way. The golf fairway on the left is out of bounds. Also, the rough on the right is out of bounds. So you just need to play a big turnover. There's even a big hyzer line. Roller is a popular play. Just kind of get up there in the green grass and then navigate your way around those 3 trees.
Yeah, almost anywhere you see that dead grass on the course, that's usually a good indication of where out of bounds is.
Yeah.
So green is good in more than one way here.
Whoa.
That's turnover too
I
hard.
think
but-
I think he went into the one round bushy tree hybrid there.
Yeah, I don't want to give it a name because I don't know what it is and I'll get yelled at. So I'm just going to say that I think you nailed it there with the bushy
it's
hybrid.
a bushy tree
thing.
hybrid.
An eagle going for a turnover as well. Really surprising. That is not that
2.
difficult of a shot, and this one looks like it is going out of
that's
bounds.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and Eagle's such a great roller thrower. I really feel like rolling it down this dead grass and having it curl right inbounds is the smartest play. Really surprising to see him turn it over too much. 2 players. And Paul's going with the same destroyer that he had on hole 1, but this time putting a little bit more of a move on it, and that's pretty much picture perfect.
And he's not going for a whole lot there.
Yeah.
You really don't need a whole lot. 709 feet. If you can, that shot's probably going 425, and he's setting himself up
Yep.
for a pretty routine approach, I would think.
And Simon going a little bit bigger to try to cut off some more distance. He's going to turn over quicker than he'd like, but also quick enough to not go out of bounds, which is fine. But yeah, that's what this country club course does. You want to get your tee shot inbounds and then figure out a way to be aggressive on your next shot.
Yeah. So here's Eagle from the OB line.
He's got some work to do. He's got to go really wide. Looks like he's got a pretty nice overstable distance driver, and
Good shot.
yeah, that's going to leave him about maybe 25 feet or so for his par.
Oh, yeah. And Rick got absolutely worked here. I mean, not that it was bad luck. He threw it right into that, but that's a tough place to be. If it takes a good bounce and gets
Yeah.
out on the edge, maybe he can make a shot, but not bad from considering the lie. He
Yeah,
got
heck
good
of-
power on that.
Great effort there.
And here's Paul going big hyzer.
And that tree is kind of in the way unless you go super wide like Paul did there, making that look so easy. It is not.
That was a great shot.
And Simon with a really nice angle, that really not much in the way at all.
Ooh,
wow.
a little shorter than it looked, but wow, that looked like it was going for it for a second.
And the gallery can't even tell because they're on the downside of the hill. You really can't see how close that disc really came to going in.
Yeah. Ricky gonna chip up for his par.
Oh, and
Wow, thinking birdie.
that's so impressive to actually have a legitimate shot of going in and then also having a tap in there for his par.
Yeah. Is
Speaking
this a
of-
gator putt?
Is it?
It looked, I could be wrong, but it kind of looked champ glow.
That definitely was a gator putt. That is a new thing. I mean, I've seen people putt with gators before in the wind, but I mean, that flag isn't blowing that
No,
hard. That's
that bad,
really
no.
surprising to
Yeah.
see Eagle putt with a gator there.
Yeah, I've seen him do it a couple times.
Good catch there.
Paul in for birdie.
As routine as it can ever be made to look. Simple shot, simple hyzer. Even though it was a very wide tree that he had to get around, he made it
Definitely.
look way easier than it really is.
I think the guys, the two of them birdied the first hole, then the other two birdied the second hole. They're doing that for the fans, keeping it even, everybody
Yep.
tied at -1.
Yep.
Hole 3, par 3, downhill, 430 feet. You got a couple gaps to choose from, and then the green gets really tight with OB left and right and long, obviously. So you can go big backhand hyzer, big forehand. There's even a straight shot play, but I doubt any of these guys are going to take the straight shot. These are some hyzer crushers.
And Paul's going with the same destroyer here, going with the sidearm hyzer out wide and high, letting it come back and fade in. And it's coming up a bit short, but maybe 42, 43 feet away. Not a bad shot there at all.
Yeah, Paul was low-key annoying me because he was telling me how, my forehand's not working that good. I just realized I don't need to run up anymore. Like, I just need to throw basically standing still, and it still goes like 400 feet, so.
You said low-key annoying you. That's really funny.
Well, because he's like, dude, I realize I'm just trying too hard. If I just like walk, because you saw his run up there, it was like slowest run up possible,
Yeah.
and it's still a 400-foot crush.
Right. And Simon with a 400-foot crush, leaving him 30. A really nice hyzer. It is such a difficult shot to trust as out of. Look how much that pinches up high like that, and these guys are going right down the middle of that. Not a chance of going one way or the other.
Oh, what a shot!
I mean, that's just a fantastic trust of the disc selection and the distance. Really impressive shots there from Simon and Ricky.
And this is one guy who's got the juice to attack this basket with the forehand.
Easily. And very slow run up as well, just to kind of get his feet underneath him and just let the arm do the rest and just snap it.
Wasn't high enough.
The key is that you're going so low here that you don't need to throw any nose down. You just kind of throw it level, and then the height takes care of itself as it goes down the hill. And Eagle's been so good at right around that range this year. He's made so many putts from outside the circle, making it look so just
Yeah.
routine. I mean, it's really been awesome to watch this season.
I feel like, what a putt by Simon. Just as I was about to say, I feel like the skill that is most impacted by like sort of an inconsistent 10-mile-an-hour wind is that like 50-foot putt.
Yeah.
So hard to trust what's going to happen, if it's going to drop, is it going to lift, what's going to go on.
And Simon with a cheeky smile there as he realizes that was not how he intended it to go in, but who cares?
Oh, wow. That looked pretty good. Maybe must have been a little left.
I think that would have hit the pole on the left side had there not been any chains there, but Ricky with a part job, easy putt, easy birdie. That's the one that kind of frustrates me. If it's going to hit the pole, yeah, it might be a little bit left side, but our sport comes from tone golf,
Sure.
where the object was to hit a pole. Before chains were ever invented,
Yeah.
there were tone poles. And so if you hit the pole, that counts as a putt out. And now if you hit the pole, who knows?
I kind of like the introduction of some speed control, though. The aspect where, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. But
Dumb.
you could also, some people might call it dumb. Hole 4, par 3, kind of downhill, then finishing back up 402 feet. OB on the left side, OB on the right side. So this is going to be, for most people, this is a huge hyzer. For these guys, it's like an intermediate hyzer.
Yeah. Simon with the same PD he's thrown for the first 4 holes here. And I mean, that's kind of what these open courses do. You get
Sure.
in rhythm with one disc,
Yeah.
and let's just go for it. Like we know how this comes out of the hand. We have a comfortable feel with it. Mm-hmm. He hasn't thrown any errant shots yet, so I mean, why not?
Rick going with the big hyzer as well.
This looks good. If it has the distance, that should be
Oh,
really
yeah.
close. Oh, yeah. That's
crushed. This is not a hole you see people going long on too often.
And it's weird. 400 feet downhill, I really feel like that's mismarked. It just seems like it's closer to 440, 430, 440.
I think part of it is just how wide the play is to swing it so wide. So
Yeah.
it really chews up a lot of your distance. Because if you go straight at it, you're likely to go out of bounds left.
This needs to get down. Speaking of OB left. Oh,
There
wow.
it is. Spikes it home.
A nice Spikeiser angle to disallow any skippage. That was a little bit dangerous, but good thing we got a bunch of rain the day before.
This looks like a good angle. But is it 50 deep, knowing the bird?
Yeah.
Oh, it hits the pole. What a shot.
Dialed in. Yeah, that definitely deserves the follow
Yeah,
flight
please,
here.
let me see that again.
It's no problemo here.
Oh,
Bink.
man. Lock breaker.
Wow. Great shot.
Paul from 10 meters or so.
Yeah.
Nice putt.
Left side doesn't work. Let's try right side.
Yeah.
Look at that. Just hang on.
Yeah.
Good girl.
Sweet.
I'm bestowing his putter as a female. That's what I mean by good girl. I wasn't calling Paul a girl, so.
Simon just a little low.
The Captain is an understable, high-speed distance driver from Dynamic Discs. With a controllable turn and exceptional glide, this disc is sure to add distance to players' games they never thought possible. Follow the Captain to new and longer flights at dynamicdiscs.com.
A little rare lefty flick there shown off by Zach Mountain. Smooth.
Hole 5, par 4, probably, I think the hardest par 4 on the course. It is going downhill initially slightly, but then steeply uphill with OB on both sides, and these trees are no small obstacle. You have to get really wide around them or play a pretty risky shot up under the limbs.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions to be made off the tee here. If you want to go long like Ricky is trying right here, you're going to have some technicality with your approach shot. But if you get far enough to that left edge, as it looks like Ricky has done, I mean, that is an ideal placement right there. He's going to be able to throw a forehand pitch shot around the corner. You really can't place it much better for the distance and for the spot accuracy.
That was huge distance and the best landing zone, so that's right where you want to be.
And Paul with another red stamped AVR Destroyer.
Going
He's
right
come up a
in
bit
the
shorter.
Same area, but a little shorter.
And that's kind of in that in-between zone. Do you go the spike backhand hyzer, or do you go the low forehand? Do you go through the trees? If you pitch up a bit shorter, it becomes a little bit clearer which way you're going to go for your second shot. And the skinny bird is going to go towards the right side of the fairway, leaving a backhand hyzer approach.
Not bad at all.
And you're right. This is the fourth hardest hole. One of the hardest par fours. It is just so tricky. This pinch is so tough. And look at Simon going.
Just going
big
huge. Is that
here.
getting past the tree?
Yeah, Mike, watch out, buddy.
Oh, it hits the tree. That would have been the farthest drive I've ever seen on this hole. Had it been able to finish.
It still might be the
It's
farthest
still
drive.
close, yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be up past the third tree.
That's crazy to think about. Wow.
Perfect shot.
Awesome. Tap in par and birdie on this one is just such a good feeling. I mean, it might seem routine, for these top players, but it still feels good. Like inside, they know danger can happen on this hole.
Sit.
It's just so difficult to stop.
Back in bounds.
Yeah.
Takes a little roll on the path and gets home.
Another thing is, when you got a golf course like this and it's rained the night before, it's so tricky to tell when it's going to get a huge skip and when it's just going to stick in the ground.
Perfect play. That Ricky
Wow.
just tore that hole apart. Just made it look super routine.
A harp approach for this is not routine at all.
No, you're not going to see too many people going to the putter.
Yeah, that's really crazy. And Simon
Oh, just
around.
sneaks it past.
And if Paul can make his birdie putt, and Simon's a bit short as well, but we're looking at a rare star frame if Paul can drain this one. Up and in.
I'm going to make a bold claim that this is if they connect, this is the first star frame ever on this hole. I could be wrong. Of course, I could be wrong.
Yeah, as windy as this course has always been when we've played here during the GBO in the past, that's not that bold, but I'm sure there's
it's
been...
pretty bold.
Okay. It's okay. That is a very bold statement.
Very bold. Nice putt from Eagle.
Wow, but yeah, that's 12 strokes for the card on hole 5.
Incredible.
Yeah. Maybe never seen before. If you've seen it before, call us.
Comment. Yeah.
Send me a text
Germ
message
on his phone and tell him that it wasn't that bold. What Sexton
My number
said.
is actually 1-800-I'm-wrong. So just text me and let me know if I'm wrong.
Hole 6, par 3, uphill 324, OB sand trap and green on the right. One of the easier par 3s. You can kind of pick your line here, but I'm expecting to see 4 big-ish hyzers from these guys.
No danger in this hole really whatsoever. There's some OB that kind of could happen if you just absolutely drop the disc out of your hand off to the left. But other than that, it's just a wide open hyzer shot. Lefty backhand, righty backhand. The lefty backhand has this tree off to the right side that can get in the way. It's actually off to the left side from the tee. But for the most part, there's a reason why this is the easiest hole in the course, averaging 2.64. It's just
right there in front
dial
of you.
in 324 and let it fly.
Yep, you throw it about as if it was like 380 maybe with the uphill, I feel like.
And interesting, we're talking about throwing the same disc several holes in a row. McBeth throws that destroyer on his 320-foot hole. He could throw a Thunderbird or a T-Bird 3 or a Firebird or whatever he throws for that distance normally, but sticking with the disc he's thrown several times so far,
Yeah.
just to dial that in.
This is a destroyer shot for me as well. I mean, I think just due to the uphill.
And nicely in there. Eagle's going to be the furthest away, right at about 33 feet, circle's edge.
Nice putt.
And that just little pop he's got there. You can see that the hand never opens up past the pole. That way he can't miss right. Locks it on this spot, holds the follow through. Picture perfect putt.
Yeah, he's doing a good job with the loft, really getting good elevation on the putt.
Oh,
And wow, Simon, a little bit right.
and his putt on hole 4 wasn't easy by any means, but that is 2 putts inside the circle we've seen him miss so far.
Nicely done by Ricky.
Very pleased with that. Don't get to see him open up the smile too wide that often, but that was a nice acknowledgement of a good putt.
Simon in for par.
And this is the first hole of the course that is actually averaged below par.
Wow.
And so, I mean, you start off pretty difficult on
You
this
really
course.
do.
Yeah.
Hole 7, par 4, 659, kind of down to the bottom of the valley and then back up. The drive is not too tough here. You just got to stay in the green grass. Do not cross the cart path there on the left. The approach can be a little bit tricky depending on your angle. It forces a very straight shot going up the hill between all the trees.
And Ricky just going through the middle instead of trying to go over the top, just keeping it right down the middle of the fairway. Nice pipeline drive there from Ricky. And would you know it? Look at that disc he's got. And that needs to
Just
stand
moving
up a
left.
bit or hit something. And again. Ooh,
safe.
Wow, I almost said it. I thought it was going out of bounds, but no, he has cotton.
It's actually kind of okay over there.
I just said cotton. He has
Cotton, but not the plant.
Yes.
He it wasn't actually cotton, it was grass.
It's
that he
not a
hit.
word either way.
Yeah.
Either way, it was wrong. And surprising to see Eagle go for the low turnover, even though he's absolutely crushed it. I really feel like a play for Eagle would be that high over the top Annie big distance shot.
He's changed, man. He tells me he doesn't throw far anymore. I mean,
Okay.
it's all
That's-
relative, but
that's a
he's
lie.
like, I don't I don't try hard. I don't try to throw far anymore.
Right. Wow. And really, there wasn't one drive of those 4 that was more than 5 feet off dead center through that tight pinch up there.
Yeah.
Well, tight relatively. But
Yeah.
At Country Club, it's kind of tight, I suppose.
Ricky with the forehand.
And it looks like that's a harp as well, and he's just dialed in with that disc.
Yep, too easy.
And Paul's got some technicality to work with here, and makes it look pretty easy there. He's got about between 27 and 30 feet left, but pretty good approach.
That was a little bit
Oof.
errant. Yeah, that really got out of his hand, kind of strange.
Yeah.
A little bit of a grip lock.
And this is pretty good.
Eagle from 58 feet going uphill.
Oh.
Just a little low. Disappointing there
line.
because his drive
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
Just sort of a shank, to be honest, on the upshot.
Yeah, and this hole isn't necessarily, I don't think it feels like it's the easiest, but it's actually, because it's not, but it's the second easiest hole in the course according to
Interesting.
scoring average
Yeah.
from day one. And
Interesting.
I feel like that might change throughout the event. Day by day, some holes just seem easier or harder based on the wind.
Absolutely.
But not the hardest par 4. There is a lot of OB that comes into play with an errant drive, but with Eagle's tee shot, you really got to execute that approach and get that birdie.
Hole 8, par 3, 555 feet downhill. It's probably a little bit shorter than that. I think that might be the measurement from the pool deck tee pad that we've used some in the past, but it's probably 475 at least. Downhill and the green is super tight. You see the OB line there on the right and obviously the water on the left. To attack this pin, you need just pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, you got this little bit of cross breeze over here coming off the left side.
This
and
is just a layup play for Rick.
yeah, and that's
Oh, but it's not.
That was
it was
a
supposed to be a layup
solid
play.
off layup. I think he was trying to go around the right tree, and he's gone straight over it onto the sidewalk. That is a huge mistake from Ricky.
Yeah.
And Paul going over the top with an overstable distance driver, and it has gotten down to the ground. A nice layup shot there from Paul. Initially looked like he might be attacking the pin and couldn't quite tell how fast he was throwing
I'm surprised to see him lay this up, honestly.
Simon is not laying up. Spike Heiser is his MO. And yeah,
Not bad.
probably looks closer from the tee than it is, but that's still a really nice result. 35 feet away, you'll take that every single time.
Definitely.
Eagle hanging out is a bit wider with that
Is that gonna
crosswind.
make it?
That's going to be tough to get back in bounds, but it
Oh,
did
nice.
just barely. You could see Eagle kind of drop his shoulders after he threw that, not knowing if he was going to get back in bounds. Very fortunate.
Ricky trying to get just a bogey here. If he can chip this up close.
Yep, that's the harp.
Well done.
You don't see him throw it backhand too often, usually because if it's available for the forehand, he's going to just do that.
Yep.
And that's going to work for him.
Whoa, Paul, where are you going?
That did not look like any sort of layup whatsoever.
I feel like it's a little bit strange to go layup drive and then
Aggressive.
hit it like that from way back. you
Yeah,
know?
that's
Hopefully he's going to prove us wrong and can it the 3 anyway, but that's a risky bid from 65, 70 feet.
Oh. And that's typically Simon's miss. He has that nose up spin lofty putt that allows him to make putts from 70 feet without having to throw it too hard, but it also tends to drift sometimes. And Paul taking about every bit of 3 seconds to line up that 30-foot comeback putt and
In
nails
the
it.
wind, no problem.
Like, that is just so robotic. Incredible.
Hole 9, par 3, 549. This is a bit of a tweener. I'm not sure how many deuces you're going to see here on this par 3. You really would have to be going crazy to rip it all the way up there. But it's a distance shot. You just have to keep it very straight because obviously you have OB on both sides. And the upshot tends to be pretty boring. You're just kind of 120 feet away from the pin.
And yeah, I in years past this has been called a par 4, and really, like you said, it's tweener distance city. It's just not quite drivable for mere mortals, and it's not really long enough to be considered a true par 4, but it is gettable.
Yeah, I think maybe if the pin were 50 feet shorter.
Yeah.
That would entice some more exciting throws.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't be a par 3. Like you said, I mean, those trees come into play if you bring it a little bit shorter. But either way, this is the hole we're playing, and most people are probably just going to play shots like Simon and Eagle have here, just playing safe hyzers. Just keep it in bounds, pitch up, nothing special, nothing exciting, move on to the next one.
Yep.
Yep, here you go, Ricky, with the same play. Just playing smart golf, you know. That's why these guys are always in the position. They pick and choose their spots. And even though Ricky just lost a shot to the card on the previous hole, doesn't feel like he has to do anything crazy to make it up. Just plays a smart shot there and, you know, allows him to fight for the next hole.
And you saw the graphic pop up there. This hole average at 3.65. So kind of, you know, right,
easy par 4.
Yeah, maybe a little too easy as a 4 and a little too hard as a 3, but that's fine. There's Ricky doing it how you're supposed to.
Oh, would you know? Forehand heart. I wonder what the difference between that brown one and the red one is. Does he still have a blue one in there too? I mean, like,
Yeah, I don't know.
either way, it's rare that you see approaches outside 20 feet with that disc comes out.
Yeah.
And we do actually have one look at it. I mean, we've seen Paul get aggressive from further.
Totally.
But
this
there-
time he's not interested. He goes just for an easy layup.
2 deuces on the day. Ryan Orton and a guy named Josh Anthon.
Nice. What do you think? Josh rolled it?
I wouldn't put anything past them.
That's pretty cool. Congratulations to those guys.
I also know that Josh is one of the best little toss putters of all time. So maybe he had a
Absolutely.
nice drive, nice Anheuser. Ryan's got a lot of power. Player from Topeka, Kansas. Or formerly from, I don't know if he still lives there or not. Good birdie to those guys. I'm going to call it a beagle.
Yeah, please. There you have it, our front 9. Hot score belongs to Ricky and Paul at 27. Crush Boys at 28.
I mean, these guys are starting off smoking hot. Back 9 to come. You know you're going to see some good scores from these guys. I mean, we got a dream card, first round GBO. Make sure you come back.